Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. If you ever watched any of my other maintenance videos, you will know I get straight to the work with no fluff. And of course, I built out a downloadable PDF that goes over all the important steps, has a full list of needed tools, and a simple tracking sheet for the maintenance. If you want that, the link is down below. This is going to be a complete guide on the X2D maintenance, so let's get right to it. Now, before we get started, the first thing I always do for all my machines, especially for my enclosed ones, is vacuum them out. In the control panel, move the bed all the way up to give us room to remove all the debris. If you don't do this every week, you're bound to have a ton of filament pieces laying all over the bottom of your printer and along the top shelf near the X and Y rails. Do a thorough job on this so that we don't have any lingering debris for the rest of the maintenance. Once the vacuum has picked up most of the debris, I take the entire machine, the AMS, and the HT all outside for a proper air blow. This really gives us a much deeper clean and removes all the debris. And today I'm going to be using the Sabrent Blower X6, and no, I didn't give it that name. I had people complaining about the price of the other blower that I use, so I found an alternative. This one is only 40 bucks. It comes with a great zip up case and even has attachments to inflate pool toys, which is a huge plus for me. And the link to the blower is down below. Now, once you blowered your case out, it's time to give your carbon air filter a good cleaning. Remove the cover, pull the filter, and blow it all off. If you have thousands of hours on your machine, I have a link down below or in the PDF where you can buy a replacement. Reinstall the filter and let's move on. Finish off that backside with a good hit of air. Now let's get back in the house quickly because it is 115 degrees outside. Next up, we'll be cleaning and lubricating the X and Y rails. We're going to be using a lubricant, either Super Lube or Liberty oil, no grease on this. Here is the standard maintenance on the rails. For high frequency use, an average daily printing time of about 5 hours, perform a complete cleaning and lubrication of the X and Y or left and right axis once per month, and perform a deep maintenance on the Z up and down axis every 3 months. For regular use, average daily printing of about 1 to 5 hours, perform maintenance on the X and Y axis every 2 months and the Z axis every 4 months. For low frequency use, average daily printing of about an hour, perform maintenance on the X and Y axis every 3 months and on the Z axis every 5 months. Now, this is a guideline. Find where you lay and just follow it. Next up, let's clean the top X and Y rods. First, take a clean microfiber cloth and wipe away old lubricant and build up debris on all sides of the rails. I buy these needle tip bottles, which come with a rubber cap, and I use that cap as a bump to not scratch the rails. And of course, you'll find the link to these down below or in the PDF. Run a zigzag pattern on both rails that go left and right on the machine. Those are your X rails. Once done, push the tool head back and forth 3 or 4 times, then wipe away any excess lubricant on the ends of the rails. Next is the Y rails. Basically the same thing, clean the rails first, remove any debris from the rails first, then apply a zigzag pattern and move the tool head a few times to apply evenly. Remove any excess on the ends of the rails. Next, let's move the bed all the way down to give our Z-screws and rails a good cleaning. Once we're done, we'll move it back up and apply grease and lubrication. Using a microfiber cloth, remove any debris from the Z-screws. You can either dry wipe them down, or if you have a lot of buildup, use some isopropyl alcohol or IPA, and that will help remove it. Never use water. Now there are 3 rails, left, right, and back. I'm going to show you the cleaning method that I use once I'm done with the cloth. If you want to spend a little extra money, you can buy what's called this gear floss. They are like shoelaces, and you wrap them around the Z-screws a few times and pull back and forth. It gets down into the grooves of the screws and removes any leftover grease and debris. Take a look at the grease that my cloth missed. I used the cloth to get the bulk and the floss to get the leftovers after. Let's go ahead and clean the 3 Z rails as well. Using a clean microfiber cloth again, wipe away any old lubricant and debris. Now with our needle tip bottle of Super Lube, apply a zigzag pattern from the top down on all 3 rails. Next, we will apply white lithium grease to the Z screws. I like to print these red caps that can be found on Maker World. They make a world of a difference, and the link will be down below. Now apply small dabs up and down the rails. I like to rotate around the rails and try and get all sides. Once you apply the grease, you can either use a cloth to apply the grease to the rails, or what I've been using is my fingers, and it allows me to apply the grease to all sides. It's up to you for your preferred method, but your finger has the most control and the cloth likes to remove the grease. And here is what the screws look like after. Now that we've greased the screws and lubricated the rails, let's move the bed up and down a few times using the control panel. Once that is complete, use a clean cloth and wipe away excess along the bottom of the screws and or the rails if needed. Now there's been a lot of you asking for this maintenance video. If possible, hit the like and drop a simple thank you comment. It will definitely make my day. Now let's go ahead and clean out all the debris in the tool head. First, go ahead and remove the cover from the tool head and lay it on top of the rail. There's no need to disconnect it. Push the auxiliary nozzle up if it is down. Next, remove the left main nozzle boot and inspect it for buildup. If it is ripped or has a lot of buildup melted onto it, then I would suggest replacing it. And the X2D came with some extras. Next, remove the left nozzle. Slide the retainer clip to the right and the other clip to the left. The nozzle should pop out with a little bit of pressure from the back to the front. If it doesn't want to budge, you can use a flathead screwdriver and give it a slight pry, and it should pop off. Once that is out, you can inspect it for damage. Now follow that same set of instructions for the auxiliary nozzle. Remove the boot and inspect it, then remove the nozzle and do the same. With both nozzles out, give the tool head a hit with some forced air. Now you'll notice there is one fan on either side of the tool head. Apply a little bit of pressure with your fingers as not to spin the fans up. The next step is optional. You can remove the top PTFE tube and hit it with some air to clear out the extruder path. I only do this if I run a lot of hours using a lot of engineering filament, so that's why I'm calling this optional. Once you're done, replace the tube. Let's go ahead and replace the nozzles. The silver magnet on the nozzle faces the back. Slide the nozzle up and reattach the retaining clips. Next, replace the boot. Sliding from the bottom up and wrap the boot around the nozzle. Go ahead and push the auxiliary nozzle up if the flow blocker is in the way. To wrap this maintenance up, use some glass cleaner, hit the door and the top glass plate. I highly recommend printing a riser like I have. All of that debris that I'm wiping away on my top glass is from the PTFE tube, rubbing the top glass for the first week before I had the riser printed. You can either print an X2D riser or any of the P2S risers will fit as well. Go ahead and hit the side glass and the control screen as well. Reattach the tube to the AMS and the power cord, and the same with the HT if you have one. Now, if you happen to notice debris on your camera time lapses, you can give it a quick cleaning. Just use a Q-tip and some IPA. And while we're here, we might as well give our build plate a good cleaning. I use Spray-On and a clean sponge. Be sure that you remove any leftover soap scum and then replace the build plate. Now the last step is to calibrate the printer. Hit the fourth icon on the left, then the calibration button. Select your options, then hit start. And that is going to conclude the important maintenance for the X2D. If you haven't picked up the maintenance tracker for this machine, the link will be down below. Again, my name is Nick. I hope you're having a great day, and as always, happy printing.